This is going to be a quick follow-up video to the other one that I just put out this afternoon, and it deals with the camera's ability to properly measure the sun's intensity. And I this is one of those things that I wanted to do before I put that video out, but this is the last day of a long weekend, and I was just pushing to get it done, and I completely forgot about it. So I went for a walk this afternoon and decided to take a picture of the sun without that tissue paper filter and to take a measurement of the take a reading of the intensity. And I saw that it maxed out at 1.63 million lux, which was what I had taken before. So when I was doing the measurements initially, it looked like there was correlation between each of them. Now I understand that there was some error, but it tended to be one of two levels reflected off the piece of paper, and it tended to be relatively 80 to 90,000 lux through the copy paper. So I figured that uh, the tissue paper was correct as well. But I wanted to see what the maximum would be and whether or not it was truly saturating. And I think it was. If I look at the sun, it's just this part right over here, which is fully illuminated. And uh, so I came back home and I decided to try looking directly into a floodlight. So I took it at several distances. This one was probably about a foot away, and this one here was probably about 4 inches away. And the main thing that I wanted to see was how the tissue paper would look, or how it would look with a tissue paper, and you can see that it swamps out most of it. But just to try to get a similar frame of reference, if that there is the sun, I then stood back far enough to kind of simulate how big the sun would be. And you can see that it lights up a lot more of it. And what's interesting is that at this distance, and I'll play the video uh, where I take the tissue paper off and put it back on. At this distance, uh, it actually measures a greater lux reading with this than without it. So obviously this is enough to scatter the light, I think, to not swamp out these pixels and to bleed over into enough of the other pixels to get a half decent reading. And I think what I'm going to do is try a few other things too. I might actually build my own electronic circuit that will measure the light intensity using a photoresistor and something else. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that yet, but I want to try different mechanisms as well. And the main thing that I want to do is I want to be able to confirm that the sun really does plateau for the 6 hours, that it's not a false reading. And the other thing that I was thinking as I was going for my walk was that it seems the phone, the app that measures the light intensity, might actually use a logarithmic scale on the averaging, and it might have a greater error in the higher ranges, so it may not always be 1.64 million lux. It might be 1.68 1 minute, and then 1.62 the next, and then 1.64 the next, and then back down to 1.60. And so it might be within that range, and it might just arbitrarily assign it the value of 1.64 million lux. So that's the other thing that I have to confirm. And I just wanted to point that out, that there may be some shenanigans going on either with the phone or with the light meter app. And I just want to also point out, I'll play the video now where I have the screen recording uh, and I show this. Then I switch to the other app, and then of course, you can't see that, but whenever I load up the app, I think it's something like 1200 lux, and then whenever I take the tissue paper off, it actually drops to 500, I think, or 600, because this part here where the light is shining is swamping out and the rest is relatively dark. I did this in my bedroom there without any other lights. I want to just make sure that that was the only light source. So that's what I wanted to say. By the way, if you like these videos, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe. It'll help make me think I'm not wasting my time doing these videos. So thank you very much. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one.